ill-equipped, ill-trained, and absolutely insensitive and corrupt force. In many places, I'm not talking about just Delhi or Bombay. In these places, we have the media, we have so many other counter.
So that means, Mr. Thailand, you're talking about deliverables. You're talking about police reforms. You're talking about fast-track courts.
I'm saying there is two things
Shame
which matter.
alone.
Two things which matter the most in these cases is, one is the police system which has to be reformed. Police force has to be sensitized about these women crimes. You go to a Delhi police thana and you try to just file an FIR, it will be impossible for even a very influential person. For a poor woman or any woman going to a police thana in Delhi, Bombay, just think about small places. Go to Badmer, go to Jaisalmer, go to a place like Muzaffarnagar or places like, you can't even file an FIR. And judicial system, millions of cases are lying there, and see this condition of the courts. If you have to believe it, go there to believe it, what kind of condition these places work. In this kind of condition,
that is exactly why. That is exactly why. That is exactly why the question, Mr. Thailand, to everyone. The question is.
And for the first time realized. But one more point that I want to make, Sanket. My point is that every time something like this takes place, do you need 10,000 people to go to India Gate? To go to the streets?
Correct. So what do you do? What do you do? That's the question, isn't it? The question is, how do you shame them? How do you act as a deterrent? Because unless there is fear of the law, unless there is fear that is struck, if I am caught, then it's over. The story is over for me. There will not be, people will not stop doing. Because
just apply Sanket. One small thing, as rightly said, that is why the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013 has 166A of the IPC, which says that public servant who disobeys law, like the police men who don't register their FIR under 154, who don't investigate properly, they can be put behind bars, and the punishment is 6 months to 2 years. I think it was because of this that in the Asaram case, the Delhi police was so quick, it registered an FIR and immediately transferred it to Jodhpur. So it is a strong law, does matter, and it can be seen that how now FIRs are being registered in 376.
Yes, a strong law is important because that establishes the legal framework.
I'm going to go back, Sanket, to what you said earlier.
Malika Sarabhai, just a sec, we will get Bachi Kakaria here and then I'll bring you back into the discussion. Just hold on.
Yes, Abha's point about the strong law is important because it establishes a legal framework. But I think, as is said about everything else, that apart from a strong law, unless everybody at every level of society stands up and shames the person and says this is not going to be allowed. Look at what happened in the case of Keenan. Look at what happened with everything where, people are standing by just watching while a guy is being bludgeoned to death, and this is a guy. I mean, what they do to women is another matter altogether. About the police, which Sudhir brought up. I mean, it's not as if the way Sudhir spoke and said, oh, this is a particular group which needs to be shamed. I don't think this is one small minority aberrant group. It goes right down through society. Your fathers-in-law are raping, your brothers are raping.
It cuts across society. It's not rich or poor, wherever.
It's not rich or poor. It isn't that at all. I mean, so that is the fearsome thing, that your mainstream society is so casual and blasé about what they themselves are doing to their
women. Let's go across to Sudha Ramalingam, who hasn't spoken as yet. Yeah. Sudha Ramalingam, where do you stand in this particular issue? I think we are having a sort of a debate here whether what is the right way to go forward as far as these cases are concerned. There is one, suggestion that has been given by Bachi Karkaria, who feels that people should be shamed, and that is the way to go forward. There are others who feel that you can't shame shameless people. The law has to be tough. There has to be fast-track courts. The system has to work. If the system doesn't work, nothing works.
Or.
Absolutely.
Yes, not either or.
Yes, Sudha Ramalingam.
I agree with every word that Brinda Grover said. She was right when she said that hanging is not going to be a real punishment at all. Doing away with people do not really give room for real punishment. Real punishment could be, in this case, life, which would be without any remission. Life should be life. There was a famous case of Premananda Swami in Tamil Nadu, where he died in the prison. There were 2 consecutive life punishments slapped upon him, and he was also asked to pay pay more than 61 lakhs of rupees as compensation for the victims. See, what we have got to now think about is real justice to be done to the victim. Victim justice.
Do you want Sudha Ramalingam and Vrinda Grover, do you want a sexual assaulter back on the streets? Because we don't want a case wherein you have a juvenile who comes out as an adult and then threatens the same very family whose kid he had actually raped and killed. He threatens the family of assaulting their other child also. Do you want such situations? Do you want the likes of these accused back on the streets?
Can I answer this? I think you should. Yes, can I answer one minute. I think you should read 1 minute. You should read Verma Commission report completely. He has dealt with this in a very, very elaborate manner. He has shown how scientifically also it is not good to punish a juvenile. And
forget science, madam. Look at the reality. Vrinda Grover, any woman who's been assaulted has been assaulted and scarred for life. So what is the punishment to those assaulters?
I'm sorry if you can't be
Vrinda Grover,
like this.
yes, Sudha Ramalingam, I'll come to you. But the fact is, you cannot think about science when it comes to the modesty of a woman, because most of the women who are watching this will not agree with you. Because a woman who's been assaulted is scarred for life. Is she or isn't she scarred for life? So then what happens to those assaulters? How do you make sure that you don't have many more like this in our society? And these people learn a lesson. They don't come out and threaten others once again and saying that I will get away with it. Nobody's going to do anything. I'll spend a few years in jail and come back and assault more women. Vrinda Grover.
No.
Yes. And please don't interrupt
sorry.
if you don't like the
have to ensure that people are really reformed.
Can I just answer this for a minute?
Can I say something?
Yes, Vrinda Grover.
Sexual assaulters are on the road. Sexual assaulters are in homes, in offices, they are everywhere. So let us not think that we have put sexual assaulters away by punishing 4 men. Let's not be so short-sighted.
We're not being short-sighted, Vrinda Grover. We are trying to put the fear in the mind of the sexual assaulters by putting these 4 people away.
Don't like the answer.
You please listen to what I'm saying properly and then you respond, Vrinda Grover. How do you stop them from doing it? By putting these 4 people away, will you stop other sexual assaulters?
You don't. You stop them by making sure that the fear goes down to everyone that if I commit any act of sexual violence, including molestation, sexual harassment, stalking, the police will pick me up and the judiciary,
and Ms. Grover, how will
without
that happen?
bias. If you will let me complete, you will get to know.
And what do you do to parliamentarians and ministers and police officials who say they deserve it? That women deserve it? What do you do to them? Do you put them in jail as well? I think we should.
Women ask for this. That is where the problem lies. You don't want to know the problem. That's why you don't get the right solutions. We are identifying the problems. The problems are systemic in nature. You cannot get rid of them. They are in the police. They are in the bias of the judiciary. They are in the weak and shoddy prosecution. Where has 166A been used, which Abha Singh mentioned? Why was it not used when in Haryana they are not filing FIRs when Dalit women are getting raped? Why did 166A not get used? Why did 166A not get used in Gandhinagar? Those are the questions to ask the police commissioner.
No, Vrinda Grover, you're talking about the implementation in certain cases.
No.
Please focus on those who are caught. What do you do with those who are caught? What do you do with those who are caught?
I would like to make a point here.
Please understand,
if I may be allowed, please.
Deterrence is created through implementation. Deterrence is created through implementation. That is how deterrence is created.
Implementation will come after the law is made. Do we know that the natural law school student who was raped by 8 men has dropped out of law school Bangalore? A brilliant girl loses out her career. And what do we talk of? We will shame them. We will implement. First thing is punishment. The person who has been harmed needs that for the confidence of the society that it has to be checked. Why did such a heinous crime happen in Shakti Mills? Will not come like this. Strong law, strong implementation, strong conviction. These 3 things together are needed. If this the numbers has to be checked.
Abhaji,
I don't think
Abhaji is making a strong point. You know, I just want to say one thing. Just one thing. Let me finish. There are 2 things we're discussing. We are discussing law enforcement and implementation. We're also discussing the deep-rooted prejudices in our society, which is highly patriarchal, feudal and misogynistic in nature. That we all are victims of this patriarchy is a fact. That we suffer from it. And this is what we see the manifestation of it day in and day out. But we cannot allow our judicial officers, people who deal with the criminal justice system, our lawmakers, law enforcers, to continue. We have to recondition them and challenge that very social conditioning.
Shazia Elmi, can we allow politics on an issue like this?
We cannot allow politics on the issue.
But the Aam Aadmi Party did politics over the rape of a 5-year-old from Gandhinagar.
Aam Aadmi Party saved that girl and helped register a case. Please don't say that. And I think all parties should do what Aam Aadmi Party did. Now that you're making me say it, I think all parties should do and help out.
So you admit that you are doing politics over that issue?
No, but what is politics is working with people.
We'll get Malika Sarabhai and Ranjana Kumari in.
Name a BJP or a Congress or any other political party.
Helping a rape victim. Registering an FIR, I got two FIRs.
Don't make this into a political issue, for God's sakes.
It's a good thing. I wish politicians did that. No, he brought this point in. I was not even talking about it. I was not even mentioning it. I was making another point. Please listen to me. This is not about any political party. This is us as a people, as a society. So we're discussing two things and they're not mutually exclusive of each other. Yes, law enforcement, implementation, streamlining a criminal justice system, monitoring our FIRs, ensuring that magisterial inquiry, forensics are in place.
Okay.
It's important in an immediate level.
Okay, Ms. Sarabhai.
But deeper prejudices have to be looked at.
Yes, Mr. Talam. Coming across to you. Ms. Sarabhai wanted to make a point a short while back. Yes, Ms. Sarabhai.
What I was trying to say is that we are in a crisis of mental sickness in this country as regards women. We need to go on what is traditionally called the war footing. We need to attack at every level, starting from the primary school teacher who starts to make a boy feels that the woman is her entitlement, all the way up to the police commissioners, the judges, the jury, the politicians, the women politicians who in parliament go up to a man and say, "Tumhe chudiya pehna de." What is this if not misogyny? There is no single place where we can afford not to go ahead.
Fair point made there. Sudha Ramalingam, you were saying something. Yes, go ahead.
When a primary school teacher was murdered by a delinquent student, a juvenile student, nobody asked for capital punishment. When BMW cars actually run over people who are sleeping on the road, we are not asking for capital punishment. When a bar tender, a lady in the bar was murdered, we did not ask for capital punishment. Only when a middle class, upper middle class girl goes and is affected, we start talking about this capital punishment.
No, Sudha Ramalingam, you're wrong there. No, Sudha Ramalingam, you're wrong there.
Capital punishment can never.
No, Sudha Ramalingam, you're wrong there.
It's about women, it's not about
Sudha Ramalingam, it's not really about class, it's about women.
What are you saying?
It's about how can you equate a murder with sexual assault? How can you equate a road rash incident with sexual assault, Sudha Ramalingam? And it's not that. At all points in time, voice has been raised even against the Juvenile Justice Act. I myself just now raised the point that how can you allow a juvenile to just come out back onto the streets and again go ahead and threaten to assault another woman.
Let me tell you, I would like to make one point. Nobody knew if the girl was a Dalit girl or a non-Dalit girl. I'm sorry. We did not know whether she was a middle class.
It is about women.
I'm sorry, nobody knew. Let me set it straight.
Don't you feel this is exactly the sort of discourse we should not be having?
Sanket,
this is exactly the sort of discourse we should not be having, Mr. Tyler.
About all these things.
We didn't know that.
Nobody knew half of this country still doesn't know who Nirbhaya is.
Yes.
More than half of this country does not know who Nirbhaya is.
We did not know which class.
There is no class. There is no divide.
We did not know her class.
It's a case of victimization.
No.
Yes, Mr. Tyler. Mr. Tyler wants to show a cartoon here.
Let me just show this cartoon which will explain the whole thing.
Anand,
we did not know
Mr. Tyler wants to show a piece of cartoon that he has in his hand.
Closing,
Yes,
can you
Mr.
come a little close?
Yeah, I'll just ask the camera to zoom into that cartoon.
Chalo, cartoon batao aise wo nikli jao.
Sanket, this is the cartoon which I did. Sanket, I did this cartoon exactly sitting in this place.
If you could just hold it up a little.
On 29th December 2012, when the Braveheart had died. You remember this?
Yes.
And look at this, in memory of the unknown girl. And this is for the first time. This is an unknown girl. This
no
is like
class.
No, not just that. You know, Malika Sarabhai.
Sudhir, did you know her caste or class?
Not at all.
No, Malika Sarabhai, the fact is.
And I did this cartoon, and for the first time you realize what is the power of the candle. And
No,
Sanket, I
no,
want to
not
say
just that.
I just
No,
want to
Mr.
make one
Tailang,
point very
Mr.
clear,
Tailang,
that we
Mr.
are
Tailang,
finding-
at all
trying to
points in
find
time, we
solutions.
had callers calling in and saying,
we are
why aren't you
trying to
naming the person? Why aren't you naming the the Braveheart who lost her life in that December 16 incident? And this is
That's
the
right,
answer.
absolutely.
The fact is, we don't want to give her an identity because she was a woman, and it's not about
I want to raise a very big point over here. I'm sorry, Anand. I wrote this
I think
just
we
last
still do
week,
not know what was
and
her-
that
her
is that
name.
the more that and it's not for the media to name the woman, it's not for the police to name the woman, but I think a woman in this very, very unfortunate position should begin to consider revealing her identity, because I think that the more that you...
No, it's...
No, wait a moment. Let me finish, because this is a very sensitive point.